The game of snooker has made terrific strides in recent years. Historically, it developed from billiards, and that's how many top snooker players started off. 100 years ago, even 50 years ago, both billiards and snooker were played by the gentry in their big mansions, or by working classes in gambling halls. The grand old man of both games in the 20th century was Joe Davis, who some say was the greatest ever snooker player. Joining us this week is a man who played with Joe on many occasions, a good friend of mine, Jack Carnham. Jack, it's nice to see you.
Hello, Dennis.
Now, Jack, I'm going to start off with a very simple question for you. Who is the greatest player of all time, Joe Davis or Steve Davis?
Well,
simple one, isn't it?
Everybody asks this, but if you're talking about snooker alone, well, then I have to go with Joe Davis. And believe me, nobody has greater respect for Steve Davis than I have. It's very close, but you see, Joe Davis also was a very wonderful billiard player. And so on that, I would give Joe just a points victory.
What about the fact that Steve now, he's been top of the game for 10 years, and he's done it playing the best of 9 frames under all types of conditions, whereas back in the old days, I mean, Joe used to play on a challenge basis. Somebody challenged Joe for the World Championship, and it was over a fortnight, over 170-odd frames. That surely must make a difference.
Yes, I would concede there that Steve has certainly played with probably more pressure, more competition. But Joe, you can't get away from the fact that Joe actually played and was undefeated for 20 years.
What I want to, you still play a lot. I mean, you don't mind me saying you're 73 years of age now, and you look absolutely terrific for 73. I hope I'm well and kicking at your age. But what do you do every morning? You've got a little secret every morning about billiards.
Yes, well, I've always been an early riser, and I'm really truthful when I say this. I cannot get out of bed quick enough to get downstairs and get on the table and make 100 break before Jean, my wife, gets the breakfast ready.
So some days you have breakfast at 2:30 in the afternoon. Is that Anyway, let's have a look at your stance, Jack, just to see how we're going to recap.
Well, if I can just say one thing, you select the line of aim.
Right.
And what players should remember is that the line of aim that you take continues off the table through the floor, so that your cue is a continuation of the line of aim.
Right.
So you walk into the shot from here, and I think this is the most important thing of all that goes totally unnoticed, is that as a player stands back and selects the line of aim, he walks in, and this part is very important, because before he really gets down, he places his feet correctly there, and that says, I've got it. He gets down, addresses the cue ball in the centre, then looks through the line of aim, and if he feels he's still going to get the shot, that is confirmation that he's put his feet in the right place.
And just looking at your feet here, you're stood at like roughly a 45-degree angle, which we went through earlier in the series. That's changed slightly with some players, isn't it?
The point is you have to have a basic principle to start from.
That's right.
One of the most important things I think that most players do, you see, when they get down into this position here, what they do, they should do a little twist, a little dink there. I always say, well, get hippie, you know. And
hippie at 73.
That's right, yes. And all you do is extend your left arm, just swivel on your hips there, and that locks the body.
Right.
Now, the major problem is that most players keep this foot, and I'm talking about beginners, they keep this foot too far under the body, and they play straight on there.
That's right, yeah.
And then, of course, there's no balance.
The thing is to get the balance. That's the most important thing. Get comfortable. At the end of the day, it's about delivering the cue through in a straight line.
That's right.
Well, Jack, you've already met Nora here, who plays no mean game. Her highest break's 33, and she's got a good basic setup. But she's just having a little bit of a problem on the angle pots, isn't it, Nora?
Yeah, that's right.
So maybe you could just give her a little exercise or show her a little routine that'll get her confidence back again.
Fine.
Okay.
How long have you been playing?
About 4 or 5 years now.
And you've made 33? Oh,
yes,
well, that's not too bad.
But it's a while ago, you know, it wasn't recently.
Well, anyway, let's see you have a go at potting that red. Well, what do you think happened there?
Overcut it.
Yes, you hit it too
So
thin.
hit it too thick.
Yeah.
Then
But you see,
too
I
thin.
watched you from the back here, and you were aiming perfectly. But
yeah, well, I think I'm lining it up, but it never seems to go.
yes, well, then what you're saying is that something happens to your cue action. You come off the line, you either pull the cue
Oh,
one
right,
way or the
yeah.
other, and that is due to a lack of coordination of mind and muscle. So let's set the shot up again.
Basic problem.
Now this time, I'll set it up perfectly for a half ball shot.
So I
Now-
hit half the ball.
No, forget that for a moment. You remember we said the line of aim?
Yeah.
Now, a half ball line of aim is that you point your cue on the line of aim through the centre of the white and point your cue as though you're going to split it on the edge of the red. Now, that will give you a half ball aim.
Right.
Right, now this
so
time...
half of the white covers half of the red.
That's right.
Okay. And the line where I'm pointing the cue is to the outside edge of
That's
the red.
right. And if you can deliver that cue like a piston on that line of aim, you'll get the pot. Now, the point is, if you practice that and persist, it will gradually pull you back into cueing straight. At the moment, as you lose form, you get a little bit anxious about, will I get it or won't I get it, sort of thing. And you play a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So be positive and play the cue action as opposed to the pot.
Right.
Once you start getting it, you'll play the pot and forget all about it.
And take the cue through as far as
Push
I
the
can.
cue straight through on the line and split your cue on the edge of the red through the centre of the white. And be very positive and don't snatch, push your cue forward. Now you're a little bit thin on that. That looks better. Play it smoothly. That's better. There we are.
Thank you.
Absolutely perfect, because you got the white into the middle
Yes.
pocket as well. So that was very interesting. Terrific, Jack. That was very interesting indeed. That should help you out a bit, Nora, will it?
I think so.
We're going to thanks very much,
Okay,
Nora.
thank you.
We're going to move on now to Walter, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with Jack with this one here.
Right, Walter, now this is, again, we're back to cueing, striking the ball nicely, and I'm sure you're well aware that centre ball striking is most important. And of course, if you strike left of centre, you push the ball marginally to the right, so you're offline. And if you strike to the right, you push it marginally to the left, and so on.
Yes.
So it's about hitting the ball in the middle. Now, this little exercise, I'm going to remove this red here from the centre. Now, I want you to take the cue ball and place it on the brown spot. Now, you see, you've got to play over the spots. But again, this is also, you can say here that where do you look when you strike? You have to be looking. There's no way you're going to get through there if you're not looking at the object.
True.
So there's another query answered there. So now see if you can get between the two balls and back. Well, now, again, one must assume that you have been able to see perfectly there. I mean, it's a comparatively easy shot, but it just proves the point that there is a weakness, that there's a movement somewhere and you can't truly point the cue where you're looking. Have another try.
Right.
Work hard on the centre of the cue ball striking. That's better. Now, having done that, you should practice that for quite a bit until you can do it every time. Now, if we now move these two balls to the pink spot, and just to give you an idea there's the sort of margin we're talking about. It's about 1/4 of an inch either side. Now, this is what pressure is about. Now, you've just proved you can play the shot. That is exactly the same shot, but the margin of error is tighter.
I agree.
How do you feel? So there's 50,000 quid on this one.
Right.
There you are, no money. Bad luck.
Broke again.
But you get the point.
Yes, I do,
I'm
Jack,
sure,
yes.
do you feel there that there is There's more pressure
There's a lot
on
of
you, isn't
tension.
there? Yes. Well, you can imagine how the top players feel when they're playing for 100,000 quid.
I certainly do.
Well, I'm sure you enjoyed that, Walter.
I
That's,
did,
as I say, earlier in the series, we went up and down the spots, but that adds that little bit more tension to it.
It does.
So,
Surprising.
I'm sure you'll get a lot of fun out of that.
Thank
Thanks
you.
very
Thanks,
much.
Jack.
Jack, that was very interesting. And just speaking about pressure, as you said, the top players are under so much pressure nowadays. And that was a little indication of how, you know, just the beginner can cope with a little bit
Yeah.
of pressure and give them an idea. I'm going to set a shot up here. Just passes one of the reds, Jack,
Yeah,
there.
surely. Here we
Thanks.
are. Where do you want it? Round
Just
there
right over the
somewhere?
pocket. So you can imagine a few balls being on the table. We can get rid of that red. So you're in the situation again. Imagine you've got a few balls on the table. You've just potted a red, and you've knocked another red over the pocket, the middle pocket. So you're in a difficult situation. So you've got a long blue to take on. Now this is where pressure comes in and how it affects different people and how different people think about the shot. Now you get the player that thinks, oh, if I miss this blue here, I'm going to leave the red on and lose the frame probably. And then you get the other player, and this is what you've got to try and hammer into yourself and think, when I knock this blue in, I'm going to win the game. So there's two ways of approaching the shot. So I'm going to have a go at the pot here. I'll probably miss it by a mile. But it's just to give you an indication of what the pressure's like.
Well played.
Oh dear, a little bit lucky there, but it is a sort of a situation, and so many players just can't cope with the pressure. I mean, you coach a lot of the young lads coming into the game who make sort of 100 breaks day in, day out, but when they get in a match, they seem to lose it. So
Yes, it's a question of people don't appreciate how hard you have to try. You know, they pot a few balls and then they think, oh, I'm pretty good at this. But they don't realise that when you're playing and you have to do it, there's this, you can't describe the feeling. Your tummy's rumbling and you're doing it for everybody. And it's really tough.
all about
It's really
experience. There's no substitute for experience
No.
at this game. Just play as many matches as you can, and hopefully it'll all come good in the end.
Yeah.
We try to please everybody. We try to toe the line. We try to pick up the pieces, yeah. They really haven't got any time. It's a pressure situation. Trying to make you see while you close your mind. Yes, it's a pressure situation. Feeling the pressure. It's a pressure situation. Trying to make you see while you close your mind. Yes, it's a pressure situation. Feeling the pressure.
Well, I've got Craig and Matt this time to help me out with a routine that's very, very useful well, Craig's been playing the game 9 months, Matt's been playing 2.5 years. So they're getting to the stage where they could do with practicing this type of shot. And it all involves little stun shots and possibly little screw shots. So we've got a straight pot here, Craig. If you want to just see, if you can pot the red there and stay nicely on the black. So you'd be playing a stun shot here. That's pretty good. You've got nicely on the black. Now just go around and have a go at the black. Bit of chalk on the cue. Now really you're playing the same type of shot again because that was a straight pot. Now you want to play the same shot, but you've got an angle on the black. So if you play it exactly the same, now concentrate on the pot. Don't worry about the position. The white, this is where a lot of people think, oh, I've got to put a little bit aside to get out to the reds. You've got the angle, so just play a straight pot with stun and the white will take care of itself. Don't rush it now, nice and steady. Not too hard, same type of shot. That's pretty good. You hit it a little bit hard, but no problem. The white didn't go too far away. Now you've got this one here, I think. Now you're left with the choice. I would follow this one through this time, hopefully to get on the black here. So you want to be coming through till about this position. I thought you would have been able to reach that with your long legs.
Where will I follow through to?
Yeah, just run it. You want to be. Can you get through to this position here? If you can get through to there, you have a chance at the black. If not, you can still have a go at the pink. But just drop it in. Just a little bit hard, but still you're on the black. Had you have finished about 4 inches short, you could have played the same stun shot again. So this type of situation, lots of little shots creep up. The stun, the screw, the follow through. Now this is more difficult. This is more of a screw shot. So once again, pick your angle to pot the black. Forget about what the white's going to do. Make sure of the pot, but play it with more bottom, more of a screw shot this time than a stun. It's as if you were trying to play a cannon onto the pink, but don't think about that. Think about the pot. Don't hit it too hard now. Yeah, there's a little bit. You see, that you've just come off the line of it and pulled it further down the table. I'll just have a go there just to show you what. You see, you're slightly out of position, but it would be no problem for the professional to play this shot. So what I would tend to think of is getting a cannon onto the pink here. Which I've snookered myself on the 2 reds here, but I've still got a choice of the other red. So you're staying around here with little stun and screw shots. So what you want to do, Craig, is you want to sort of practice that, because that's the secret of break building. People say, you know, I can only make a 20 or 30 break. But if you can set the balls, say 5 or 6 around the pink and black, and keep playing those little shots, you'll soon get up to making 50 and 60 breaks. So thanks for the time being. You can stand on and watch. We're going to let Matt have a go now. Same type of thing. Matt will just place a few reds round about. And just have a go at the same little exercise. That's okay. Yeah. This time you're the other side of the black. Now what way would you play to get out onto the reds this time?
Just a wee stun off the cushion.
You're stunning off it, so you have to force this one a bit more, because you've got the slight angle. You don't want to finish short. What happens with a lot of people, they play the stun shot, comes off the cushion, finishes short, and it's the end of break. So give it plenty, because if you're a little bit too strong, you've still got a choice of reds. But make sure of the pot as well. And that's exactly what happened there. You just try that one again, because that's it's a good shot to practice that one. Just set them where you like there. Make sure of the pot. You don't have to put any side on this either. No, that's better. Now you can go to the middle pocket if you want, if you don't fancy. There's a nice little shot on here. Just try this one. Have you spotted it? And it's worth experimenting around with this sort of situation. I mean, there's so many different positions can arise. Now, I want you to have a go at this. It'll be interesting to see if it comes off. To pot the red into the center pocket there. Now, the white will automatically go over towards these 2 reds. So you're hoping to get in between the reds and finish nicely on the black. So it's a stun shot again, just above, just slightly above center, but concentrate on potting the red in the center pocket. You tend to sort of wonder what the white's going to do, but just let the white take care of itself. Well, that was almost perfect. Just have one more go at that. The thing with that, even though you snookered yourself on the black there because you got the cannon, you've still got a choice of the pink into the middle pocket. Same type of shot again there. Play the red right into the center of the pocket this time, or even when you're going into the middle pocket, even if you go to the left side of the pocket, it's better than catching that near knuckle, because if you hit the near knuckle, it won't go in, whereas it'll go in off the other angle. Well, it's not so bad. Have a go at the pink in the... in fact, we'll cheat a little bit, get the pink back onto its spot there. And once again, this is another stun shot. Now, we'll assume that went in. You carry on from there because you've played the white absolutely perfectly there. You've got a choice of this one or a choice of the one in here. Just come around this way here and get the rest out. And now you can go to just a little follow-through shot. So it's just to run the red into the pocket, and the white should go through about 12 inches. You'll be nicely on the black. If you happen to snooker yourself, you've got the pink again. So just to reach the pocket, the red. Now you see you played the stun shot there. So there was two ways. That was like a little stun run through, or you could have just rolled the ball. Just play this one here just to... Now this time hit the white ball near enough at 12 o'clock. Yeah, you can turn. You were going to do a very good thing there. Yeah, you can do that. That's one of the reasons the rest, it's two different heights. That's just a little bit short, but you're still on the black. I'll get the rest for you. So just wander around, have a go at the black there. And what sort of situation have you this time?
I could play the shot with left-hand side, screw off it.
Well, what I would do is, you see, I'll play plain ball again, only hit it at 12 o'clock, and just follow through. You've got to hit it a little bit harder this time because you want to pot the black, hit this top cushion, the side cushion, and back out towards the reds. So there's no problem with hitting this shot hard because no matter where the white goes, you're going to be on a red. Follow through. Don't worry about the black. Now you see, you missed the black to the angle. Had you have potted the black, the white would have come further out into this position here. So it's so interesting. There's so many types of shots that you can practice around that particular area with the pink and the black. And for yourself, Craig, as well, I would suggest you spend half an hour a day just practicing around the pink and black. Your little stun shots, your follow-throughs and screw shots, and you'll find that that'll be a big help to you. Steve Davis, playing the fairly simple follow-through shot that I recommended to Matt, setting himself up for the next red and then the next black. As we say in the trade, you've got to be boss of the black.
There's a yellow, a green, a brown, and a blue. There's a pink and a red ball pack. But the real top dog of this snooker game is the man that's the boss of the black.
Well, this is a routine that I practice a lot, and most of the top professionals still practice this as well. But you don't have to be professional standard. You can do this from an early stage. And I've got all the balls lined up between the blue, pink, and black. I've got 6 reds between the pink and the black, and I've got the other 9 reds between the blue and the pink. Now, the idea is to pot red color in that sequence and not disturb any of the other balls. So we'll just show you what happens. And it incorporates everything, not only follow through, screw back, stun shots. It sort of takes in everything. So let's just see how we go on with 4 or 5 of the reds. First shot's just a little screw back shot. A little bit of chalk on. Wasn't a great positional shot. I've left myself quite an awkward one. So I'm going to run through this time with right hand side to take the cue ball off the top cushion, the side cushion, and hopefully out for the red. So I've got to put a little bit of right hand side. Jack, could you get the black out of the pocket for me? As you can see, that's in quite a good position. Sometimes I'll attempt to pot, take the reds individually, but as long as you get yourself in this sort of position, you've got a chance to pot any of the reds. Now I've got a little shot, so I'll just play the cue ball at 12 o'clock, push the cue through, nicely onto the black or the pink again. I'll stick with the black, and I'm going to play a little stun shot just to take the cue ball off the top cushion and back out behind the 4 reds here. Now, once again, just a little follow-through shot. Looks as if I've possibly left myself straight on the black. In fact, I'm going to play a shot here that we haven't showed you throughout the series, and this is a screw back with reverse side. So what I'm going to do is pop the black screw back off this side cushion and get the white to spin off at this angle to get behind the 3 reds or to leave one of these. So what I'm in fact doing is hitting the cue ball roughly about 5 o'clock. So it's called reverse side. So as it comes back, it's spinning anti-clockwise, so when it hits the cushion, it's going to come off the opposite way. Could have done with hitting that just a little bit harder, but you could see the side coming off there. We can go to a red into the center pocket. This is a little bit more difficult. This is a little stun run through shot here, hopefully to finish on the pink. And now we'll see if we can finish with a spectacular one. I could drop the pink in and finish on one of the reds. Let's see if I can get the shot going all the way around the angles and avoiding the colors. I'm sticking my neck out here. Well, I would have settled for that one. Snooker is a game you can play all of your life, whether you're 8 or 80. Most clubs have a handicap system, as in golf, so you've always got a chance no matter who you're playing. At the end of the day, it's only a game, but what a nice way of escaping from the pressures of the office, the factory, or the kitchen sink. I hope that we've passed on enough hints to encourage you to play a little better. Always try and remember 4 points. Keep your head still, have a nice pause before delivering your cue, look at the object ball, and finally deliver the cue through in a straight line. I'd like to take this opportunity of saying a special thanks to our guest Jack Carnham for coming along and helping us with the last program. And we mustn't forget our 4 superstars, Craig, Nora, Walter and Matt. Thanks very much indeed. Hope you enjoyed it. Until the next time, happy potting. Right, let's get some potting in.